Hi, friends. I kept getting so excited about our challenge and then thinking, gosh, I don't think I've explained enough. I don't think I've shared enough on what we need to do. So here I am recording one more, or rather one training, because I want to give you a very clear way in terms of how you're going to go through the reflection for your year. Yeah. I'm going to give you three lenses in which we're going to be looking at things because you might feel overwhelmed when you think about reflecting on a whole year. Maybe you have done many things throughout the year. If you think about quarter one, quarter two, three, four, maybe some worked, others did not work. And when you try to make a sense of all of it, it can feel chaotic, it can feel a bit blurry, a bit overwhelming. And so the temptation is to label the year quickly, like this year was a mess, or this year was messed up, or something like that, and then just move forward quickly. The problem is that you're not going to change anything, and you will just start another year with the same patterns that you haven't uncovered. So I want to give you a very simple framework, a way in which we can organize all that chaos or all that into three specific buckets, and once you see clearly what happened in each of those buckets, then it's going to help you see exactly what has been running the show of your business without knowing, yeah, which I think is really, really powerful. And it's going to show you exactly what to double down come next year, what to let go of, and what probably needs some support or empowering, yeah. So sounds good? Let's go. I'm gonna go off camera here so I'm not a distraction. And the first framework I'm going to give you is sort of mechanical, but I'm just hoping that it will hit home. This is where we look at your business growth in form as a flywheel powered by three main pillars, which is traffic, content, and offers. As simple as that. If not anything else, these are the three things, the three mechanics that run your business. And I talk about this, many times. So if we start by traffic, traffic is just a fancy word for people getting to know you, getting discovered, getting people into your world, and people knowing that you do exist and you do help with certain thing that they are probably looking for help on. So that is the one thing. And I mean, there are many analogies you probably have heard. I was just thinking about it. Imagine you opened a restaurant somewhere and there's no signage, there are no reviews about it, nobody talks about it, nobody knows that, it exists. It doesn't matter how good your food is, nobody's gonna come in, yeah? And so traffic is you putting signs on the streets, getting featured on local blogs, for instance, running ads, let's say getting reviews, right? So that people can actually walk into your restaurant and notice and want to get a feel of what you have to offer. And so for us in the online world, that looks like maybe being active on social media so people actually see you and see your stuff. Yeah, probably running ads, probably collaborating and accessing other people's audiences, let's say through bundles, summits, podcasts, for instance, guest posts. It might be SEO, it might be, or you might be on a marketplace where the traffic already exists. Yeah, so that's your business model. You have chosen to be in such a platform, and you don't have to worry about traffic, but you worry about the others. Yeah, or it might even be YouTube or TikTok. So traffic is all about visibility, and it's a very first step, yeah, because you can't sell to people who do not know that you exist, and we need people coming into your world on a day-to-day basis, yeah. So that's the first thing. The next one is content, yeah. So people have noticed you, but the thing is, they don't trust you yet. They don't know. Okay, even think about the restaurant. They don't know. They haven't sampled your food. They don't know if your food is good. Yeah, they're not sure if this is the right place for them, or they should keep walking down the street to another familiar chain that that they are familiar with, that has a lot of reviews. Yeah, so this is where content comes in. This is where you put out content to teach, to help, sometimes to even entertain. But really, what we're looking at here is deepening the trust with the people who have discovered you and building belief that you can actually help them. The solution you propose is actually what they are looking for, and that you're the right person, or your solution is the right person for them. And so here, content here looks like, for instance, I mean, we know what that is here. YouTube videos, email newsletters, social media posts, blog posts, podcast episodes. So here we are nurturing and we are building that trust, and we are actually giving them quick wins for free without ever asking for anything. Yeah, and these quick wins might be, very small, even just shifts in belief, or building a new belief, or just you offering, let's say, templates or lead magnets that help them solve a small problem. So the goal here is to build trust, and content is a vehicle. Yeah, and the third one is the offers, and I know most of us are familiar with this, but just in case, these are the three pillars in which I want us to do our review. Yeah, offers is all about value exchange. Yeah, so you've got the traffic, you've built the trust, but the thing is, if you never actually sell anything, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. Yeah, so an offer is making an invitation to people to actually now come and work closely with you. And so here it might be a course, it might be your coaching program, your community, a service. So this is where you actually make money for your business, and you legitimately deserve this, or rather, you legitimately can make this ask because you have walked this journey with your audience. Now, I know it sounds mechanical, but I'm hoping that this really lands traffic, content, and offers, and you can always think about it. At the end of the day, it's all about this, yeah. But again, let's look at the human angle, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with people. We want to look at it from a human perspective. So this is another way I like to look at it. Is about building an audience, building the trust, and then facilitating the transaction, that value exchange. Okay, so because now when you think about audiences, it's not just traffic, it's not about the number of views or impressions or things like that. It's about attracting the right people who actually have the problem you solve and who will be ready to take action. So, like the right people, if I put it that way. And then, content, we talked about content is all about trust, but content is just the vehicle. And then the transaction here is not just about the offers. So now the trust is high. So the transaction feels very easy and natural. And instead of this person thinking, this person is just trying to sell me something, they're thinking, wow, finally I can get help with this. Big difference. So the transaction is the next step in the relationship that you've already built with the people. But again, just three buckets, three compartments. This is how I want us to reflect on. So, and we will actually be doing this work on day 2, day 3, and day 4, like specifically for each of these pillars. But even as you go through your year, I want you to think alongside these three buckets. Yeah, when you're thinking about what worked, what didn't work, when you're going through the workbook, this is how I want you to, to organize your thoughts. So now here's the most important thing, and this is how to get the most actually out of this challenge. Okay, I'm going to ask you to think about this, and this is where we actually uncover the hidden patterns. Yeah, so we're going to look at what were your thoughts around each of these buckets. Okay, because we know your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings drive, or they drove the actions that you took or did not take, and those actions actually produced the results that you have. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what the goal was or what you have achieved. There's a pattern that has produced those results, even if the result means having not achieved your goal. Yeah, so that's what I wanna communicate. So let me give you an example. So if you pick, for example, marketing, think about it. What thoughts have been on your mind when it comes to marketing your business? Let's say, for instance, on social media. Let's take that an example. Maybe you have some thoughts. I'm not confident enough to market myself. Who am I actually to charge for this work? Yeah, that thought that comes in the mind, and if we pay attention, we can actually pick it up. Yeah, and for you, it might be something else. Oh, Instagram, I need to post 3 times a week, and that thought generates a feeling. So maybe you feel, if I go with the example of not feeling confident enough, it brings up that feeling of insecurity, feeling small, feeling like an imposter, yeah, feeling very uncomfortable to do these things. And so then what happens? That feeling produces the action of you barely talking about your offer. And you may do that in a very subtle way. So you drop the hints instead of making clear call to action. You apologize, maybe you don't even mention the pricing. You're running a workshop, for instance, or a masterclass, and at the end you're shy, or you don't want to talk about your offer. Um, and it's driven by those thoughts and feelings. And then what happens? The people don't take you seriously, they don't see you as helpful or as someone they would pay, and then sales slow down or become non-existent. So do you see how the pattern is going? And so the most important thing is to pick out the thoughts that we have about specific aspects within that pillar and see how they drive the feelings, the actions, and the results. Yeah. That is how we uncover the patterns. Now, for instance, let's take another example. You maybe you have a coaching offer, or you have experience in a certain area. You have gotten results for yourselves. You have helped people around you, maybe in the offline world, get results, and so but and you feel very strong about it. You feel that you're qualified, and you should actually be paid for your time so you can actually dedicate time to help somebody through this. And so what happens is that because you have that thought, you show up feeling confident, you show up feeling worthy and clear. And so the actions you take based on those thoughts and feelings, you're taking the actions based, with conviction. You share your client wins, you make direct invitations for people to work with you. You take messy actions, but because you know that you do actually have a solution that can help people, you push forward, you make invitations, you're not waiting for things to be perfect, you keep moving. And the result is, people see your value, people respect your authority, and the sales start coming in. So that's the other end of when you have a different thought about what you're doing. And I can go on and on. There are many, many examples. But I learned this recently, and it's something I've been running in my business also. Just really trying to analyze some of the thoughts in my mind and seeing how they're leading me, either intentionally or unintentionally, to the result that I get. So this is ongoing work, and this is how I would like us to do the reflection. So once you have done this, once you have mapped out your thoughts, your feelings, your actions and results, you'll be able to see, where the brain sabotaged you, your mindset maybe sabotaged you, the emotions that kept you stuck, okay, and that kept you like frozen and never took action on some certain areas. And every time you wanted to do it, you'd be held back or pulled back. You will see where your actions were not aligned with what you actually want, the results that you actually wanted. And you will see, and you will see, your results making a total sense. Yeah. Again, results being positive or negative, you will get a clear and a better sense once you see the full chain. Yeah. So that is what we are going to do. So just think about it today on a general level. And then tomorrow on day 2, day 3, and day 4, we will look at each of these specific pillars and what we need to do going forward. I'm so, so excited by this work, actually. I really, really do hope that you take time to do it, because it's going to be transformative for you. Okay, so let's see where we are. Yeah, I wanted to come back. Okay, so now I've given you the 3 pillars, and I'm not pretending that this reflection will actually solve everything or fix everything for you. This is just the beginning, and it's getting clear on what happened or how come you got the results that you got this year, so we can work on what next, so we know exactly what to work on. And in the new year, we're going to go deeper with this. We'll dive into specifics. We're going to come up with systems that will help each of these pillars to actually work for your business and for your life. And we're going to look at rewiring some of those patterns, which is truly, truly exciting. The thing is, you can't fix what you can't see. Yeah. So what we're doing this week is to actually seeing. And the other thing is that you can't unsee what you've already seen. Yeah. So that is why this work is so important. So please do the reflection, take your time with it. This is important for your business. This is important for your work. Yeah. For the energy that you pour into your business every day. This is not nice to have work. It's really, really important work to do. And I hope that you will take the time and the effort to do it, and let us know how it is going every day on the post for the challenge, for that day. Okay, so I will see you on the other side. Thanks, bye.